everybody, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Welcome to a Chat Over Coffee spin-off called Reflective Thoughts. Now, over the last few years, ever since I started Chat Over Coffee, I got to talk to so many interesting people, from bodybuilding champions to martial arts champions, yoga instructors, web designers, actors I grew up admiring on TV, which thankfully I've had the great opportunity of doing so. But I've decided now to give my own reflective thoughts on what it meant to me to get the opportunity to talk to these people. Now, recently I got to talk to the living legend, Sensei Jeff Speakman. If he's listening as well, a big shout out to you, and thank you so much again for coming on my show. It meant so much to me. I never thought in a million years that I would get the opportunity to get to talk to such a great person, such a great, powerful presence. And he had that great aura about him. And all I did was, to get him to ask him to come on my show, I just literally sent him an email and said, "Hi, I've been a fan of yours for many years. Would you be interested in coming on my show?" Literally within a week later, he messages me back saying, "Yeah, when would you like me to come on your show?" So it worked. It worked in our favor. And what was quite interesting, he was just like so kind, so interesting to work with, and it makes me wonder. I wonder what this is probably what he was like when he was working on the film sets, such as The Perfect Weapon, Expert, Deadly Takeover, Land of the Free, Running Red. He's done quite a lot. But what was most interesting to me was talking to a man who not only is a great martial artist, but also, like I said, a great person. But one of the greatest accomplishments he did was when he defeated stage 4 throat cancer. And when the interview started, I could just remember when I was setting up everything, and he just said, "Hey, Addy, I'm on the other end." And he comes on. I was like, "Oh, it's you! And it's just mind-blowing, when you get to watch somebody growing up in movies, and you get to talk to them down the line. It's just a whole different scenario, isn't it? Where it's like, I felt the exact same way when I spoke to J. Anthony Frankie. If he's listening, a big shout out to him as well. I'm going to dedicate one of these videos to you as well, Jay. Thank you so much again for coming on my show that year. And what was, like I said, when I go back to Sensei Speakman, it was so interesting to learn about his martial arts background, how he started, how he got into the film business. It wasn't any of his intentions, but people said to him, go give this a try, you might like it, and he liked it. He goes, "Oh, this is quite interesting as well." And then learning about his history with the late great Sensei Ed Parker, who became his mentor, and I think they definitely took it upon themselves being like a father and son type relationship. And you could tell from the training when I was watching the videos, doing all the research and everything, that there is a definite sort of father-son type bond that these two have developed over the course of many years, until Sensei Parker had sadly passed away. And it was just, like I said, the biggest thing for me was not only just him coming on my show, but it was just hearing that story, sharing the differences of martial arts and martial sports. And one of my favorite things he said on the interview was when he went to watch Jean-Claude Van Damme in the movie Bloodsport on the cinema. And he said, "All right, there's a new guy coming on, we'll see what he can do." And he saw people cheering for him, and he said, and on the way out he said, "Wow, if people like this, wait till they see Kenpo." To me, that was just absolutely one of the best things he ever said on the show, because I heard him say it in other podcasts, on the people's shows, but to have him say it on mine was just something else entirely. I was like, yep, I felt like I hit the nail on the head. And then sharing quotes of Sensei Parker, when he said that, when after I'm gone, I hope nobody traditionalizes my art, that you keep up with the times. Because if they hadn't kept up with the times, then the art of Kenpo would have just gone down. Where it's good to keep up with the times, where you evolve it as times have gone. You involve the groundwork, the grappling, they look like jiu-jitsu type moves, but they're not. It's strictly all full-on Kenpo 5.0. It was like I said, it was an honor for me to talk to him and just to speak to him. And I hope that this is not the last time, that there'll be more times coming as well. And again, the best movie he's ever done, without a shadow of a doubt, is The Perfect Weapon. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you watch that movie, because you'll be blown away with what this guy did in the movie. Because back then there was no CGI, no wire work, no stunt doubles, full-on raw action, hard-hitting martial arts. And we obviously came from the era where there was no YouTube, and we would watch movies and learn in a way what a different martial art is compared to another one. And it's true, because when I watched Van Damme doing his kickboxing, when I watched Steven Seagal bring out Aikido, Mark Dacascos when he showcased the world Capoeira with the martial art in the movie Only the Strong, and the same thing applied to Sensei Jeff Speakman, where he showcased Kenpo and showed what the difference is of, again, a martial sport compared to a martial art, and the philosophy behind it as well, where you don't send somebody to their destruction. As your job as a martial artist is to try to make the world a better place, and thankfully it worked for the foreseeable future. And one of the best stories I asked him before we went on camera was he okay to talk about the fight he had with stage 4 throat cancer? And he goes, yeah, that's fine, I'll talk about it. And he talked about what had happened, how it developed, and how he overcame it. And remember, if he could beat it, anybody could beat it. So never give up on hope, never give up on yourself, because that is the worst thing you can do in your life, because it's just too easy. And I just wish everybody all the best as well. And again, I wish him, everybody in the Kenpo world, all the best. Big salute to you all, and hope to see you all soon when you come and visit the seminar. Do not forget to give Sensei Speakman a follow. You all know the drill. Click subscribe and turn on notifications. And we have a lot more Chat Over Coffee episodes coming your way. We have food vlogs coming your way, and lectures as well. And hopefully more collaborations with the great Malcolm Parnham as well. All the best. God bless you all.